to how to perform the fire hydrant correctly. Now, step number one, be a dog. You know, be a happy dog, because if you see a fire hydrant, what are you going to do? Mark your territory. So, not going to say meet our dog. This is an exercise that works on engaging your glutes, glute med, and focuses on unilateral stability, because you're going to be balancing on one leg. So we've got an element of like leg circles here. Now, if you notice that one direction is harder than the other, then I recommend doing a few extra reps on that one. So we're going to do 10 reps both ways. So we're going to go anti-clockwise and clockwise. So Juliana is going to show us how to do this today on her left leg. So let's set up. So from the hands, grip the floor, index finger pointing forward, lock the elbows out, slight rounding of the back. It's just slightly, so you get more tension through your abs. Now the goal here is to be as stable as possible. So if I go to push Juliana over, we can see I can. So that means she's not very stable. She needs to push down harder, squeeze her arms, and I shouldn't be able to push her much. Now, to set this up, we're done. Now to perform the movement, your goal is with the left knee to bring it up to your elbow as close as you can. So bring the knee up. That's going to engage through the abdominals, so we're starting to stabilize here. She's shifted her weight to compensate, so we need to get a little more, yeah, good adjustment there, Juliana. You want to make sure you're not shifting all the way over. That's an indication of strength leakage. Then with the knee, we're going to bring it up and out as far as we can. Again, Juliana's starting to shift and bend her elbows, so she's locked out. Then bring it up and around. Now bring the knee in more, so it's in line with the hip, knee in more, inwards, and then up. So that's going to get the glutes. You can see it's popping up. Then we bring the knee back in, pulling in through the waistline, see if we can touch the elbow, and then up and around. Now, if you're scraping the ground, it means you need to pull up through the abdominals and the waist. Lock out the arms, still keep rounded through the back. So push up more, push up more, push up more. So your body is fighting you, and then circle through this movement. So Juliana's probably lifting her leg a little too high because she's having to compensate everywhere else. So let's bring this belly in, thank you, and then circle through. So this tells us there's a bit of struggle through the hip, mostly through external rotation. Now the glute max actually contracts at hip extension, so leg all the way out. So external rotation of the knee, but when she brings it around, she only needs to have her knee in line with the hip here to get the most out of her glutes. A lot of the time people think that they have to hyperextend to get more out of their glute, but that's just going to load you back up. So really pull the abs in, hold that position. Knees come back in and up and around. Now if you're looking a little like Juliana here, let's see how it goes this way. So the opposite direction, let's go all the way out. So push the heel up, again, keep it still, hold, bring the leg out and around, bring it all the way to the elbow now, and in. So we noticed Juliana had trouble going outwards, but she's actually having an easier time going around now. So we get up and around, so she's actually able to get more height. If you're noticing that you're collapsing and dropping, I recommend that you do a few supersets on the single leg glute med raise first, and then come back to this. So this is the progression. So to check in on your setup, make sure your hands are on the floor, your arms are locked out, so you're pushing away, so you're using your upper body to help stabilize, and then working from the pelvis there. We're now going to just check, did what we did by going the opposite way correct the other way? What I mean is, when Juliana brings her knee up and out, can she get higher? So let's go, knee forward, up and out, up, 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 and around. Okay, so we've now seen that she can get more range this way and then back and around. So remember, when you're doing this movement, if you're noticing a restriction or a challenge, do the opposite way first, take a rest, then go again to see if there's an improvement. If there isn't, superset with the single leg glute med raise, because this is to work the glutes and the stabilizers. One of the things that you would have noticed is that Juliana, when lifting her leg up and out the first time, she couldn't get much range, but then when she went backwards and then around, she actually noticed the second time around she had more range.
Why did it happen?
Yeah, that wasn't scripted. No, so Juliana was asking that question, we thought it would be good to film, because when you go up and out, you're contracting the muscle. That's your concentric phase. So there's 4 phases in the muscle. You've got the eccentric phase, which is the lengthening of the muscle or the overload. Then you have the pause at the bottom of the movement, the concentric when you lift up, and then the pause at the top. Now, we're naturally stronger eccentrically. We're weaker when we're concentric. So the thing is, when you went up and around and out, you're eccentrically loading the muscle and then pulling it through, so you had more range. So that's why the cool thing about the Fire Hydrant is, if you have a restriction through your hips or you've got a weak strength leakage in your glutes, you can actually, by doing it the opposite way, help correct that.
Okay.
So that's a pretty cool thing, yeah. So then that's why I suggest you superset it with a single leg glute med, because that will just work that range, so you'll feel more confident in the movement as well. If you then make your glutes work with stability, so if you want to get stronger, you need to work on stability and strength, then stability works well with a balance exercise, which would be the aeroplanes, which check that out and you'll have literally a triple threat combo. So enjoy.